Today, in the nerdy news you need to know about, the Tony Hawk game countdown has finally ended. A Far Cry Extraction game has reportedly been rebooted, and somehow Acclaim has returned. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, March 4th, 2025, a date that will live in Timothy. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30, a.k.a. the second best baby blues in town, a.k.a. the king of Tony Hawk games, at Tim Geddes.
What a day. A day that I actually can't believe exists, Greg. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 felt like it was taken from me.
Taken from you.
And now somehow it returned. It is real. It is happening. I'm going to be able to play it in just a few short months. This honestly feels unreal to me. A lot of game announcements have happened over the last 10 or so years for me that I'm like, I can't believe this is real. Whether it's the Crash Bandicoot remakes, Crash Bandicoot 4, so many other things that don't involve Crash Bandicoot. Smash Brothers Ultimate, bringing back every single Smash character. Everybody's here, all of that.
Here.
There's been so many moments in video games that I'm like, oh my God, I've done something right in my life because people are looking out for me. This in particular feels the most like, oh, I would have bet everything I had.
You believe in God now.
I believe in God.
He's looking down on you,
yes.
and or Satan is looking up.
It's one of the two. One of the two. But yeah, man, very, very excited for today.
I want to get straight into it, so I'll remind everybody that this is Kinda Funny Games Daily, each and every weekday on a variety of platforms. We run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show, of course. We're taking YouTube Super Chats right now on youtube.com/kindafunnygames. That's right. We're live. You come in, you say what you think about Tony Hawk, about, of course, Acclaim coming back, about all the other video game news, maybe make it on the show. However, if you're not watching live on Twitch, on YouTube, no big deal. Remember, you can pick it up on podcast services around the globe. No matter where you get the show, please consider picking up a Kinda Funny membership. Remember, $10 gets you all of our shows. That's more than 20 a week, ad-free, and it gets you your daily dose of me, Greg Miller, in a 15 to 20-minute series we call Gregway each and every day. That's like an hour-long podcast each and every week. Holy shit, that's a good deal. If you have no bucks tossed away, no big deal. Like, subscribe, share, ring the bell. Of course, tell your friends, leave a review, and so much more. Ring-a-ding-ding, Tim.
Yep.
Ring-a-ding-ding, Tim. Some housekeeping for you. Pack your bags, trainers, because we're headed to Johto. The next chapter of our Pokemon Nuzlocke journey begins this Friday. Join us after Gamescast for the start of our SoulSilver Nicklocke with a new special main character exclusively on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames.
On top of all this Tony Hawk stuff, Nick's about to start his journey in the best Pokemon game of all time. My favorite Pokemon game of all time.
SoulSilver?
SoulSilver, baby.
Wow.
This is about to be amazing.
Can you believe
for
it?
A treat.
And then, of course, it's Johnny Ace doing it.
I know, that's going to be upsetting.
Important. Yeah.
You know, I saw Johnny Ace. He came through. He was doing rehearsals
a
couple days ago. And he hasn't changed much.
Is he still talking about Malta nonstop?
Nonstop.
Is Johnny Ace here for every one of the Nuzlockes, or is he just going to be here for this opening?
No, he
one?
promised he wasn't going to be.
Thank God.
We begged him. We were like, no, we won't.
He's got to have something else to do. Johnny Ace has to have something else to do.
I really hope he does, because the amount of times I am writing a very important email and he'll just come up behind me.
Ace Man cometh.
He cometh all over the place.
Of course, remember right now you can pick up in review Alien 3, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, podcast services around the globe. We had some fun with that terrible movie. But keep in mind that we're an 11-person small business all about live talk shows. That means that we are live right now with Kinda Funny Games Daily, and after that, you're going to get the Kinda Funny Games cast with our Split Fiction 2 review. Timothy and I played through it the entire way
together
on the couch co-op. The big news, we recorded the entire thing and we're going to put it up as one big video.
That's
which is
really exciting. A very different thing for us. Like, we've never recorded our review footage for a game and posted it, you know? And it's interesting because I feel like that doesn't work for every game, but I think it works for this one because the experience is required to be co-op. So the experience of two of us hanging out, talking about our feelings about playing the game the entire time, like pretty unique stuff. Different than just like a gameplay stream or a let's play. Different vibe, I would say. Still a lot of shenanigans. You do talk about. We'll just let them see.
I think for a long time I'm normal, and then I become abnormal. Let's just say Shawn Michaels could come anywhere at any time. Ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, that's not enough. After that, it's going to be the Kinda Funny podcast. And then after that, it is the Kinda Funny stream, everybody. It's going to be Blessing playing Dark Souls. If you're a Kinda Funny member, you can get today's Gregway. It is 20 minutes on the dot about grief, because that's what people wrote in and want to talk about. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Delaney Twining, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Karen Lindener. Today we're brought to you by Monster Hunter Now, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is, and forever will be, the Roper Report. Time for some news.
I don't know why the music is not playing.
7 items on the Roper Report.
Avengers Island!
Number 1 on the Roper Report, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 reaction. When we hit live on the YouTube button to make this show go, the countdown ended at TonyHawkTheGame.com. Kevin has it up there. Refresh it, Kevin. Show the people what it looks like now. Because on my screen, it's Tony Hawk doing a sick freaking flip, I guess. I don't know. And it says available July 11th. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4. Get hyped for the legendary franchise to return with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4. Everything you loved is back, but revamped with more skaters, new parks, gnarlier tricks, eardrum-shattering music, plus a whole lot more. Available July 11th.
Greg, available for pre-order on Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and 5, Steam, Battle.net, Microsoft PC Store, and Nintendo Switch. Congratulations, everybody.
We
fucking did it. Last time they fucked things up. There was one of those like epic exclusives, so it wasn't coming to Steam, which why would you do that for a game like this?
Sure.
They could sell so much and then did sell so much when it came to Steam. I love this on every console humanly possible. All right.
Wow.
Really exciting stuff.
Is this it?
This is gameplay B-roll of it. I will say this is one of the only times in my life that I've already seen this trailer.
Oh,
I could not hold off to live react to it.
Coward.
I got too excited. They sent me it too early, Greg. I got it on Friday, and I'm like, I can't last the weekend,
yeah,
okay?
I know. You're just a man.
We should watch the actual trailer.
Can we watch the actual trailer, Kevin, and crank the music up? Jim Tasty in the chat says, where is Jango Fett? That is a question the world will be asking.
Is that Revenant and Doom? Is that what it's called?
It is.
Okay, cool.
B-roll.
Wait, no. Sorry, Kevin. The trailer is what the
on
released.
The screen? Okay, yeah, give me 1 second.
Jeez, man, walking. So, what is, so like, is it what you expected? Is it more than you expected?
So much more.
Okay.
I can't believe it, Greg. And we'll get into it after we check this out. But
hold on, something's wrong with the audio.
Pixelated Soul says, is Tim getting the $130 version? I didn't know there was a $130 version.
Yes, he is.
The answer is probably yes. I bought Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 on every console available because I wanted to support it. I don't always do that, but I did it for Tony Hawk and I did it for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Okay. I support that. I respect that.
I also like collecting Tony Hawk games because I'm weird like that.
You have to be.
But hey, who else out there has a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 on PlayStation 1 signed by Tony Hawk himself? Probably a good
number of people actually probably have that. Yeah, you do, of course.
And that's what matters the most. And also, I'm putting this out into the world right now. I want Tony Hawk at this desk.
Tony Hawk, if you're listening, it's time to man up and come be on this show and let Tim talk to you about it. Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 3 and 4. 3+4.
Yes.
All right, sorry. We're having some issues. I don't know why it's not playing. Hold on.
Okay. We can roll on from that. Do you want to get into what's in the editions, or do you want to wait until just on that? So I'm looking for the $130 edition. I'm not finding that.
So, okay, I can just tell you some things that I know about this game while Kev figures this out, because I've watched these videos a bazillion times, and I know what's going on. This is a remake of 3 and 4 in the style of 1 and 2. It looks like it's using the same engine. All of this is perfect news. You might, if you don't really care about Tony Hawk that much, you might look at 1 and 2 remake and be like, oh, cool, that's a nifty remaster. It's so much more than that. It is a perfect remake. This is so much closer to a Resident Evil 2 remake than a Battle for Bikini Bottom rehydrated type situation.
Okay.
And it's mainly because it's a whole new game, actually, that just maintains the feel, which is the most important part of a Tony Hawk game. But it also had all the skaters, but they're older now. So Tony Hawk and Bucky Lasek and Bob Burnquist, like all the OG skaters, they're appropriate age for when the game came out. And then there's also a new era of skaters
that
they bring in as well. there was updates to some of the levels, like the mall level from Tony Hawk 1. Now it was like a abandoned mall. So it's like fun little like switch ups and changes visually. And the visuals are great in this game. This game runs in like every single thing possible and can go all the way up on Steam to like 8K resolution. You can play ultra wide. You can play 120 frames per second. Not all of those things at once. I mean, maybe if you have a beefy ass computer, but even on consoles, it's like there's a lot of options with the stuff. The game runs so well. But on top of that, one of the most important things to a Tony Hawk game, the music. They had all of the soundtrack, minus like 2 or 3 songs from 1 and 2, but they also had an entire soundtrack worth of new music that they added for that one.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a perfect mesh of what came before, but also what if they made a new Tony Hawk now? So it's kind of best of both worlds because there's no chance that it's bad because we already know it's based on the good stuff. Plus, we're also just
this can't possibly be bad.
And then with this one, there's new levels.
Damn.
There's a water park level they added that looks awesome, and I am shocked.
Sounds like Kevin's got it working.
Sorry about that.
No, you're doing the damn thing. I understand. I appreciate it.
Here goes.
Here we go.
Skitching. Caballero. So this is a perfect trailer for this game. It's literally just showing, hey, the levels are all here. And they look great. This is exactly what you remember. The earthquake feature of LA. Like, everything you want to be there is there.
Okay. These guys do Triple H's music.
They do. And look at this before and after. Come on.
Now, is this before and after, or is this, can we switch between styles?
No, it's before.
Okay.
Taco Bell gong. Airport, the most legendary Tony Hawk level ever.
Is strictly prohibited.
This is the new one.
New level, man. And who knows if there's other ones, but very freaking cool. And then there's more. Another fun thing about the Tony Hawk games is there was always really, really cool unlockable characters. Like back in the Neversoft days, we got Spider-Man. Eventually we got Wolverine, Jango Fett, Darth Maul. And then when we got to the 1+2 remake, they dropped that. There was some of the like original characters from Tony Hawk, like Officer Dick and stuff, but like there wasn't any of the fun third-party things. But this one, they're bringing it back. The deluxe digital edition, you get Doom. Doomslayer, Revenant Skater, and music from Doom, which fits the game so well. So again, I am as happy as I can possibly be with all of this news, Greg.
Let's make you happier and talk about the $130 deluxe edition. It's a Wario 64 Blue Skyed it, put it up there in a Best Buy link. It comes with a deck, Tim. Pre-purchase Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 now and receive 3 days early access, wireframe Tony shader, and access to the Foundry demo. Drop into Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 with this Epic Collector's Edition. This bundle includes the game, of course, digital edition content, and a full-size birdhouse skateboard deck with the reissued version of the iconic Wings graphic, complete with a printed Tony Hawk autograph. Get hyped for the legendary franchise to return. Everything you loved is back, but revamped, blah, 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 blah. So it's a deck. It's the digital deluxe edition plus this deck.
What is this pinball level?
Alcatraz 2? Is that new? Or do we?
No, Alcatraz is from 4.
Okay.
Foundry's from 3. Pinball's new. And people in the chat are asking like, oh, I think the water park thing is just a build-a-park. It's not. It is a new level. There's a whole bunch of B-roll footage that they sent me as well. And it's definitely like clearly its own level. And it's even labeled that way. And then, Kev here has.
This is Doomslayer?
Which one's this? Yeah, water park level.
Oh, nice water park.
It's a full ass level. This is definitely not Creative Park stuff. But yeah, man. Beside myself, July 11th can't come soon enough. 3 days early with all the fucking who knows what you need to do. You know what I mean?
Just pre-order
Pay
the game.
Extra, probably.
Just pre-order the game, give them money. You guys just
like, come on. Anyway, amazing news. Everybody celebrate. Be happy.
Everybody, I hope you're celebrating right now, okay? I hope you're celebrating right now because Killer Dragon is celebrating. Killer Dragon is celebrating, super chatting and saying, kind of funny has been with me for a decade of college, marriage, buying my first house. Today I found out I'm going to be a dad. Thank you all for being with me through it all. Congratulations, Killer Dragons. But more importantly, congratulations, Tim, for getting this. You know what I mean?
I know, man. Thank you.
There you go. That's what I like to see.
I'm not going to be able to focus on anything for the next couple months. And then the next couple months after that as I try to platinum it. We'll see. Please, Lord, if you're listening, make the platinum just a little bit easier. The level 100 grind is bullshit. I'm still working on it. It's my final trophy.
What level are you at now?
I think I'm at 92 out of 100.
Yeah,
and it is just, I've done everything in the game. If you've done everything in the game, you should have platinumed that shit. You should have maxed that shit out. It's so annoying.
Have you looked around? There's got to be some like Cheez-It.
There is a Cheez-It hack thing that you can literally like, you need to connect your computer to your controller to a computer and have it essentially fake button presses for you. And you record your button presses and just have it do it for like 24 hours straight, and then it'll be freaking done. But apparently there was some patch that makes
you
it
waited
not
too
possible
long?
on PS5. If I'm wrong about that, somebody please let me know. I am not above it.
Just to give you a full picture here, of course, while we're live, and this is all breaking as we go live, of course, it has been confirmed this is Game Pass Day 1.
Hell yeah, man. God, this is going to be so good for the online. Online was pretty rough, and especially nowadays, 4 or 5 years after the release of the last one, non-existent. But I played the shit out of this online, and a lot of the trophies are connected to that stuff, so that's very good news.
Do you want me to read from Michael Hyam's report? Just for audio listeners, everything maybe they haven't seen in there. Man? I mean, we got to double down, right?
Let's go.
I'm at IGN.com where Michael Hyam is talking, of course, and says the legendary skateboarding franchise is back for another round of remasters with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4, bringing the two classic entries to the modern era. It's in the same vein of 2021's remasters in Tony Hawk's 1 and 2, with modern graphics and familiar gameplay. But this time it's being done by developer Iron Galaxy, known for porting games and original releases such as Rumbleverse and Killer Instinct. As far as content goes, it will feature all the skate parks from both games, as well as a new one teased at the end of the reveal trailer. It's a new level called Water Park and looks to be a large, abandoned, water park, with a lot of verticality and rides, ramps, and railings making up the level. Skaters from previous games will return in addition to another batch of newcomers, including Raisa Leal, Chloe Covell, Jamie Foy, Zion Wright, and Yuto Horigomi. While several songs you remember in the old games will return for the soundtrack, there aren't many details on which one quite yet, except for Amoeba by the Ascendants and Ace of Spades by Motorhead. It's confirmed there will be new songs to the soundtrack, but those have not been revealed. There will be cross-platform online multiplayer for up to 8 players and a robust version of Create a Park mode, where players can make and share their own custom parks. Damn cool.
I mean, man, dream come true shit. And then this is one step closer to Tony Hawk's Underground remake.
To your point, you can get in on July 8th, Tim, who pre-ordered the Deluxe or Collector's Edition. Standard version is only $50. Deluxe is $70. And then, of course, there's that
Standard is only $50.
Yep. According to Michael Hyam. If it's wrong, get mad at Michael. Here. Get mad at Michael Hyam. I didn't do nothing about it, okay? I'm very happy for you, Tim.
Thank you.
This is a good day for you.
It is. Let's keep it going.
Super chats in here are all just being positive. They're not really asking anything. Oh, here you go. Kebab says, does 3+4 have any lock-on/import content from 1 and 2?
That's a really good question. I kind of hope that it does, but I don't really expect it to. I mean, God, the dream would be it just keeps your leveling going, and whatever I do with 3 and 4 gives me a level.
Keep dreaming. That ain't happening. Ain't happening.
It's Activision. I don't know. Maybe they have some type of account. The Activision, like, Act Harder or some shit.
Act Harder account. Everyone knows that one well. Act Razor. You know what I mean? D Davis 504 super chats and just says Happy Mardi Gras, kind of funny crew and best friends, and then uses some emojis. Happy Mardi Gras to you too. CJ Russell says first time getting to watch live after following for a few years. Cheers everyone, and thanks to Kind of Funny for all you do. Thank you, CJ. We couldn't do without you. And then bringing it back to the news, kind of. CJ Splits On says, Greg, what remaster are you still waiting on? And the answer, of course, is Infamous. Come on. Give me an Infamous collection.
It is a little
or
bit
just
weird
Infamous
that
1.
Yeah.
It really isn't. They got Spider-Man. Superheroes are covered. Some people say superheroes are played out. I get why you're like, Sucker Punch, make Ghost. We're not going to worry about this. Let's remaster and do stuff with Uncharted or whatever. Jeff Bull Jr. says, Tim, what's your opinion on Project 8? That was my personal favorite.
I really enjoyed Project 8, but that's kind of where things started to fall apart. I mean, there was like that was the second to last Neversoft game, but it wasn't the same Neversoft team that made the OGs. Like, in my opinion, like the series kind of ended with American Wasteland, and Project 8 was kind of a reboot.
Okay.
Fun, cool. First open world one they did, first true next gen from the ground up one. But yeah, it didn't have the feel, and the feel is the most important part.
Gotta have the feel. Gotta have it on the sticks. And then Pretty Dude, closing out our Tony Hawk section, says, Iron Galaxy recently had some layoffs. Does this help them? Maybe secure future Tony Hawk games? Well, keep in mind, this announcement isn't starting from zero today. So they already were working on Tony Hawk when they had the layoffs. So if this is a huge success and they make more Tony Hawk games, then that ensures the future of the studio. But I don't know if it's going to lead to hiring more people or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so interested, though, and I wonder if we'll ever know like what happened, how this happened. Because this game was not being made by Iron Galaxy. It was being made by Vicarious Visions and got like shelved. And now it's back.
Sure.
Like, this is crazy.
You think it's a fan outcry? You don't think it's just Phil Spencer over there making things happen?
I mean, it clearly was to some extent. I think it has more to do with Iron Galaxy, who did the PC port of the Steam port of, and I think the Switch port of 1 and 2.
Okay.
Pushing for it. But yeah. Dave Lang is involved somehow. I want to ask him questions.
So you want Dave Lang and Tony Hawk? That's who
they don't have to be at the same time, but
Sure.
that could be kind of fun, actually.
Okay, I appreciate that. We'll try to make that happen. Let's move on to story number 2. Ubisoft's Far Cry extraction-based multiplayer shooter has been rebooted. This is Tom Henderson at Insider Gaming. The Far Cry extraction-based multiplayer shooter under codename Maverick has been rebooted, Insider Gaming has learned. Project Maverick, which was initially intended as a multiplayer component to Far Cry 7, morphed into its own project in early 2023. But after internal reviews, the project has been rebooted. That's according to several sources familiar with the project's development, who said that the writing was on the wall for a number of months. It was said that the final nail in the coffin came after its dedicated tech team called Talisker, also the old name for Far Cry 7 before it morphed into 2 separate projects, moved from Maverick to be fully dedicated to Blackbird in late December to ensure the project stays on track. Maverick was also going to be an extraction-based multiplayer shooter set in Alaska, where players would try to survive and extract in the harsh elements against wild animals, AI soldiers, and other players. It's understood that Ubisoft Montreal, the studio heading both Maverick and Blackbird (Far Cry 7), will take the multiplayer game back to prototyping with Ubisoft Sherbrooke. Ubisoft Berlin, this is just fucking Ubisoft in any fucking
Worldwide,
city,
man.
Ubisoft Berlin, we're also assisting in the game's development, have seen around a dozen or so developers move to Blackbird and another dozen move to another project. However, it is understood approximately 50 developers are now left without an assigned project and will likely be placed on viability this month. The exact reason for Maverick's reboot is unclear, but the decision seems to have been made as part of Ubisoft's new strategy to streamline its teams and projects amid the company's struggles. That being said, some on the Blackbird project feel like a 2026 release date is fairly optimistic with the project bloating in headcount and budget. Ubisoft is so supremely fucked.
It's really hard to not just have that negative of response, isn't it? Like, so much about what's being said here, from just even a Far Cry extraction shooter starting there.
Yeah.
And then, we're rebooting it. There's just so many questions, first off, of why. And then why?
Yeah.
Like, it just seems so missing there's no room being read here, Greg. Ubisoft is clearly desperately trying to figure something out. They're trying to come up with a strategy to solve the problem that they are clearly in.
Yeah.
But they're talking about this maybe being like a 2026 release.
Not possible.
And it's like, I don't think that that's possible. And if it was, that's not going to be great. I don't know. It's getting more and more concerning to look at Ubisoft and what they even can do to fix this. And again, what is this? I think a lot of different problems from the views of the consumer, from the views of the actual Ubisoft fans that I feel like are dwindling.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's walking around being like, I'm a Ubisoft guy.
And I'm sure there are some of them, but I'm sure by the day that number is dwindling.
Yeah.
And then you look at even the IP that they have and like, what are the things that people are even asking for and requesting, and have they kind of like missed every swing that they took with those in the last couple years, right? Like, it's getting kind of tough.
Ubisoft is a souffle. It was rising in the oven so long, and it was doing really well. And then once it collapsed, it's just like it was too big. It's collapsed.
It's too big.
There's nothing we can do.
Studios everywhere.
The souffle has collapsed. It is fucked city. There's no. What are we gonna do? How do you save this? You start closing off all these. And I'm not saying this like with any joy in my voice. You close up Ubisoft Berlin. You close up Ubisoft Sherbrooke. You close up Ubisoft Tucson. All these fucking places. You're gonna have to close so much of this stuff, which is going to sink your stock even worse. Don't even play the song. And then it's going to be just garbage. You're going to get bought. You're going to get sold. People are going to come in. It's
already happening.
This doesn't end well. I know they are. I know. And like Assassin's Creed, imminent.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is going to happen? Like, that game's going to come out, and like, based on the preview me and Barrett did, it's another Assassin's Creed, which tanked my excitement for it because they had talked about it being something different. Like, not different, but being evolved. And then I played like, oh, this is Assassin's Creed, which I'm not jonesing to drop another 20, 30, 40 hours into and go do everything. So if that comes out to middling responses.
I mean, I've been saying this forever, but the biggest things Ubisoft has ever had, Star Wars, open world Star Wars game
Outlaws.
Being made by the team behind The Division.
Yeah.
And Assassin's Creed is finally going to Japan. And one of those was, I feel like no matter what way you look at it, not a major success.
Oh, yeah.
With Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah.
And then you look at Assassin's Creed, and there's so much riding on it that it just feels impossible for it to hit the heights that it needs to. And that's
the problem with it, right, is like, for Assassin's Creed and looking at it like this and talking about it like this and where we're at with the Ubisoft timeline right now, like, it is impossible for Assassin's Creed to do what this company needs it to do. This game would need to be 10s across the board and be bigger than GTA on day one for this to be the lifeline that saves Ubisoft and turns it around and buys them more time on the island. Like, I just don't.
I mean, it is March 4th.
Yeah.
We are 3 months away from Summer Game Fest season. Ubisoft has insisted on doing a Ubisoft Forward every year, whether or not they had anything important to say.
Yeah.
Whether or not they had good news. They would just say news even if they knew it was bad news. Here we are. Do they do one this year? What does it even look like? What do they have to talk about?
That's the
if
thing.
Assassin's Creed is out already, and they're not going to be talking about this now rebooting Rainbow Six or a freaking
no
Far
human
Cry
being in
extraction
2020. No developer, nobody, should be coming out in 2025 and be like, let's talk about our new extraction shooter.
They shouldn't. Bro,
it's over. That souffle is burnt. That souffle collapsed and burned. We don't need more extraction shooters. We don't want more extraction shooters.
Man, it's such a bummer. And I say this as somebody that looked forward to Ubisoft showcases every single year because there was multiple things that I was like, maybe they're going to.
For so long, I was the Ubisoft open world guy. I was like, this is the game I want.
Yeah. But even then, like the Raymans, the Prince of Persia is like the things that I freaking love. Beyond Good and Evil, the original one, not this fake game that doesn't exist with the sequel.
Yeah.
I care about that stuff. And then you get the Prince of Persia, it actually kicks ass, and then they get closed. And now it's like, all right, cool. What could I possibly be looking forward for them announcing?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Right now, do you think they do a Ubisoft Forward?
I think they do. I really think they do. And I think it's going to be abysmal. Like, I think it is going to be. I legitimately think the Ubisoft Forward 2025 during the summer area, I think one of two things is going to happen. Either it doesn't happen, and that means smarter minds are prevailing, and there is a shift and a change attempted and being listened to from within. Or we get one. And I think it's going to be Capcom showcase levels of bad, but they're not Capcom. The way Capcom does its showcases is very different. I'm not giving them an out. They shouldn't do that shit. But it very much just feels more like a digital commercial as opposed to a showcase. And especially the Ubisoft, like, was it last time they insisted on doing a live in-person one in the shitty hotel conference room?
Ubisoft last time?
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe.
They went back to in-person showcases. They're the only ones that did, and they didn't have the stuff. They had people come out and perform Skull and Bones music.
The distaste in your voice, the disdain in your voice. You're just fucking against it.
I want to fix it, man, but I think it's too late. Anyways,
I'm gonna say they don't do it because things are so abysmal. I think there's a push inside that they'd want to do it, but I'd imagine you're hearing this. I don't expect Assassin's Creed to be able to do anything. So I think people must be hoping. I imagine that launches and you see more layoffs. Like, I feel like the news is going to be so bleak and dire
Even when I'll say Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out and gets what, an 83 Metacritic, something like that, sells millions and millions of copies, and it's still going to result in that. Like, it just feels like we need a 90 Metacritic and we need 15 million in a day sales, and that's just not going to happen.
Fair enough. In the chat, in the super chats over on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, where you can be part of the show. Barista Brand says, Ubisoft fans, there are dozens of us. Dozens.
Yeah.
Are there really? Bran, you're still waving the flag for Ubisoft? What is live chat right over there on YouTube and Twitch, I see you. Throw up a 1 if you're excited for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Is that a game you're gonna buy, you're gonna pre-order, you're gonna play? Just only put up 1s if you care. 2 if you hate it. 2 if you don't care. There's a fair amount of 1s over there. Let's see if the 2s take it. A lot of people putting 0s in there. They don't understand it. There come the 2s.
God, wow.
A lot of 2s.
There was a good amount.
I was
of
like,
ones,
maybe there's a different.
And the 2s came through.
1s are sprinkled in. I'm fascinated, man. I can't wait to see.
Yeah.
I want to get to good news.
Yeah, I do.
I want to get to happy news, like a new IP that you've played.
Mm-hmm.
But before then, I'll tell you about the Kind of Funny membership. Remember, you can pick up the Kind of Funny membership over on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, patreon.com/kindoffunny, Apple and Spotify. You get all of our shows ad-free. You'd get the ability to watch me every day in a one-man podcast that goes on for 15 to 20 minutes called Gregway. And, of course, you'd be supporting an 11-person small business that tries to keep you entertained with the video games you care about. However, you're not using your membership benefits right now, so here's a word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Monster Hunter Now. Whether I'm taking Ben to the playground, soccer practice, or on a hike with Jen, I'm wandering the outdoors more than ever. That's where Monster Hunter Now comes in. It's an authentic Monster Hunter experience on your mobile that lets you find and hunt monsters in the real world using your phone, whether you're out on a walk, commuting, or just need a quick hunting break between your console sessions. And right now, there's no better time to jump in because Monster Hunter Now is running an epic collaboration event with Monster Hunter Wilds, packed with surprises that any Monster Hunter fan won't want to miss. Let's talk about the good stuff. For the first time, a monster from Monster Hunter Wilds has made its way into Monster Hunter Now. Players can also experience the thrill of riding a Sacred from Monster Hunter Wilds with the new layered equipment and so much more. This won't be available once the event ends, so don't miss your chance to get it while you can, and don't you worry about me and that Sacred look. I already unlocked it. But that's not all. By completing event quests, you'll unlock a special gift code that can be redeemed in Monster Hunter Wilds. These rewards will give you an early head start, making sure you're geared up and ready to take on the next big adventure. So if you haven't already, now's the perfect time to download Monster Hunter Now. It's free to play, and trust me, once you start hunting monsters in the real world, you'll be hooked. Go to kindoffunny.com/MH now, jump into the event before it's gone, and I'll see you out there. Remember, that's kindoffunny.com/MH now. Happy hunting. Number 3 on the Roper Report. Dotemu announces a new IP, and Tim has played it. Before then, we'll jump over to Sal Romano Gematsu, who writes, Dotemu announces arcade beat-em-up Absolum?
I'm not sure.
Well, it'd be like Absolve, right? So Absolum for PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC. Publisher and developer Dotemu and developers Guard Crush Games and Supamonks have announced Absol, an arcade-like beat-em-up game with spells, counters, upgrades, abilities, and unique, powerful, playable fighters. It will launch on PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC, and Steam in 2025. Crafted with passion by the dream team that redefines side-scrolling beat-em-ups, Absolum mixes top-of-the-class combat action with modern roguelike elements, bringing the vibes of the fantasy arcade hits of the past into an immersive experience set in the original world of Tamalal. Tamalal has been shattered by magical cataclysm caused by an ambitious wizard, leaving magic mistrusted by the common folk. Well, I want to joke. I was just giving you... I'm just setting the table. I want you to come in and feast, Tim. What's this game? Is this game good? I've never heard of this. I'm surprised
It's a brand new IP.
Uh-huh.
This was kind of a surprise, actually, to be able to play. Like, they invited me to play this, and I gave one look at it. I'm like, this looks awesome. I definitely want to give it a shot. And I'm happy I did, because it is the first new IP from the same teams from Dotemu, who we know from Streets of Rage 4. We know
Sure.
from Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, which
Dude,
was
this art's great.
one of my favorite games of a couple of years ago, taking the old school kind of beat 'em up gameplay, but modernizing it quite a bit. This is essentially if you took the gameplay of Shredder's Revenge and crossed it with Hades.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
We're getting a roguelite, everybody, and it is awesome and looks gorgeous. Kev, if you can skip even past the cutscene, we get to see actually some of the gameplay. And the gameplay looks so good. This game runs so well. Art style off the damn charts. And, you know, a lot of games you look at and, oh, cool, it has that cartoony art style. But it looks cheap. It looks like it has, me and Andy always talk about it, the puppeting animation thing where it's like a video editing technique, motion graphic stuff, where it's kind of just stretching and skewing JPEGs to kind of, not fake animation, it is animation, but it's not like handcrafted. This has that level of like handcrafted. We want every single thing to look great. And the game plays so well. It feels like the old school beat 'em ups, but modernized in all the ways you'd want. Moving around is, I feel, even quicker, snappier, easier than it was in Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, which I know was a common criticism of that game. But you go on runs, you get different buffs. It's a co-op game. You can play 2-player co-op. There's 4 playable characters. The demo I played, you can only play as these 2. I didn't get to play with anyone else, so I just played alone. But there's a feature in the game where you can kind of rent AI help.
Okay.
So a computer can come and fight alongside you and help in difficult situations. Super, super cool bosses. A lot of great combos, a lot of great parry opportunities where there's a lot of like, the parry turns into a very, very, very flashy counter if you hit it right. And so far, it's one of those, oh man, I want to keep playing. I only got to play an hour, but every time I would like die, I'm like, I need to go back. And the different upgrades I would get, I was
Talk
like,
to me a
this
bit
is
about
awesome.
what, so, you know, roguelike for me is always coming back, getting stronger, and coming in. You're talking about buffs and debuffs. Is it per character? Are there overarching things that are working? Is it coming in and I'm keeping the gold that I'm using to then go do stuff?
Yeah, like I said, I only got to play an hour, so like
Sure,
I didn't
enough.
get to get too deep into the like long-term effects of it all. But yeah, you're collecting gold, which allows you to buy different upgrades and power-ups as you journey. And the different buffs could be things like speed upgrades or different kind of elemental attacks added to your attacks. So you can upgrade like the shock damage. So every time you punch somebody, it shocks them a little and like gives you another second to follow up with an attack. If you get lucky, you can kind of find multiple of those in a row, and it gives you even like stun them for 3 seconds or whatever it is. And you can also drop the buffs whenever you want. There's buffs that do the thing of like, hey, we're going to give you like 4 times the damage, but we're going to give you a quarter of the health. It's kind of that risk reward type situation. And yeah, overall, incredibly impressed with this. It definitely feels like they have something special on their hands, and they are very proud of this game.
I mean, they should be based on how it looks. This is incredible.
The developers talk about it. Like, this definitely seems like a big step for them, this being a new IP, which is not their general
exactly
thing.
right. Making something originally, creating something that's all your own. You don't have to worry about a license holder who has the IP. This is what I always talk about with Blue Point, right? Where it's like, you do all these great remastered recreations. How do you then get to making your own game, and could you do it? Yeah,
and so far they're really pulling it off. Another amazing thing for people like me is the composer of this game is Gareth Coker, who is known for Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, but also for the Ori games.
Gotcha.
So incredibly beautiful soundscapes designed for these games, and this game is no exception to that. Very, very into this. This rose to the top of my list of games I'm looking forward to this year. And what a great surprise. Didn't see this one coming.
If you're an audio listener, we've debated it and gone over it and butchered it. Absolum. Absolum.
Not the best name.
Yeah, they should probably work on that.
That's always rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, look how cool this boss looks, though.
Yeah, the boss looks great. The art is awesome.
Very, very cool stuff.
Well, there you go. Look for it in 2025, they said here. So lots of stuff coming up soon. Add it to your wish list on Steam.
Yes.
Helps out everybody. We move on to story number 4. One that sticks in my craw. You talk about helping all these people out. Here's somebody who doesn't need to be helped out whatsoever and has crossed a line that he may never come back from. Number 4. Iconic game publisher Acclaim has been resurrected. Great news. Then the headline continues with wrestler Jeff Jarrett as an advisor. Horrible news. I mean,
such an asshole.
man's a fucking cancer to wrestling, and he hit me with a guitar, Tim. He cut my face. You were here for it.
I was here.
It was right here on this set.
Someone say you deserved it.
This is Chris Scullion of VGC reporting. Acclaim, the U.S. game publisher that enjoyed success in the 1990s, is being resurrected. Originally founded in 1987 by a trio of former Activision employees, Acclaim became known for a steady stream of games based on popular IP before eventually declaring bankruptcy on September 1st, 2004. Now, more than 20 years later, Acclaim is back, led by CEO Alex Joseph, the former founder and CEO of Graffiti Games, parentheses, Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. In a statement, the publisher says its initial goals are to support indie developers and reignite classic franchises, providing funding, marketing, and PC support to indie studios. Acclaim was perhaps best known for its licensed games, and one of the key aims of the new company is to, quote, resurrect and revitalize its beloved portfolio of classic IP enjoyed for years by millions of players. Again, full stop. All of that great news. Of course, as you're well aware, not as much money being thrown around the video game industry to make video games anymore, which is really rough for independent content creators, indie developers, and of course, tough for the big ones too, as you see so many layoffs on top of each other. So someone entering the space and saying, hey, we want to make indie games, and hey, we want to do our own classic IP, people making games, publishers putting money into the video game landscape ecosystem, all fantastic news. Here's where it goes into the shitter. To accomplish this, an advisory board of quote-unquote esteemed industry leaders, end quote, and they need to look up what esteem means, has been set up to shape the publisher's future, with board members including Russell Binder, parentheses, founding partner of licensing and merchandising company Stryker Entertainment, Mark Kaplan, founder of business consultancy firm Ridge Partners, and wrestler and entrepreneur Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett, who previously starred in Acclaim's WWF Attitude game, said, quote, for more than 3 decades, I've had the privilege of being part of both wrestling and gaming universes, and I'm thrilled to now be a partner for the revival of Acclaim, an iconic publisher known for releasing some of the most legendary games of the 80s and 90s. From my early involvement with the publisher's hit 16-bit WWF titles, to my experience helping shape the TNA wrestling series, which spawned the first video game wrestler to become a full-time roster member in the Squared Circle, I've seen firsthand the type of impact great games can have on players and fans. Resurrecting Acclaim is an opportunity to impart the same degree of passion and love to a new generation, and I'm excited to be involved, end quote.
Looking at Acclaim's list of video games that they've been a part of over the many, many years. Terminator 2 on the Game Boy, Greg, one of your favorites.
Yeah, I do remember that one. I mean, I can run you through it. WWF Warzone, WWF Attitude, ECW Hardcore Revolution. I played a lot of Acclaim games. It was the thing of they were great for their time, and then, of course, THQ, AKI came around and just ate their lunch because, hey, we don't want to do combo systems anymore. Hey, we want to do this.
Alien 3 on the Game Gear.
Yeah, I know, dude. When this news went live today, I did the ow, ow, and I clicked on the link Roger sent, and like the first screenshot is an Alien 3. And I was like, is this AI? Is AI grabbing something off of me here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so a lot of the old licensed things like Alien or Simpsons, a lot of the Marvel stuff, WWF at the time, Mortal Kombat ports to other systems, NBA Jam. All right. Yeah, I'm really interested in what this could actually look like in a modern world, though. Like, I feel like I lack maybe the enthusiasm you have for this invigorating any type of indie game wins.
Well, okay. So let's dissect that before we go back to Jeff Jarrett and beat the shit out of this old man. I just think another publisher entering the space, people coming in with money is good. People don't have money. I think, again, like let's go to the top here, right? And of course, what you'd have popping off, which I appreciate, is that this is who I don't know. Alex Joseph, former founder and CEO of Graffiti Games, Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. Like, I remember when we were talking about that one here and there on the shows. Like, that's a true indie game. That's a true thing that's happening, right? So this isn't corporate suit come in saying, hey, we can make money off of making our own Fortnite. This is, hey, we can make indie games and hopefully do this. And like, I think excitement last week, God, what time's a flat circle, of the Terminator 2 game, right? The Terminator 2D or whatever, right? Like, hey, that is a IP game. And hey, if you understand what you're doing with IP, we just jumped off of Shredder's Revenge. I think there's something there. I don't expect them to come in and be like, we're going to make combo-based wrestling games. Like,
yeah, I guess that's my problem here is like, I hope I'm wrong on this. This pedigree here and like what they were talking about, it doesn't make me think that this is going to work. And this does seem like hey, we're going to bring people on, they're not going to do well, and then all of them die.
Sure. I think the pedigree of it, I'm not so concerned with in terms of like, oh, Acclaim before wasn't like they're, especially for me with their like, when they're making the ECW wrestling games and it's like that time is come and gone or whatever. I'm not worried about what their latest things were as much as, hey, we're coming into this brand that did have stuff that people really, really liked. And I did associate Acclaim with licensed games like that. So it's more the idea, I think, of what are you going to do with these indies and what are you going to do versus IP stuff? Or is it going to be you're going to get IP and then give them to indie developers, which is something I talk about all the time.
Which is great
I'm not saying Game of the Year is coming from this.
Yeah.
It could, of course. I'm not trying to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm just saying we are in a place right now where people are not investing in games. So for somebody to come out and say, like, we're starting a new publisher, that is an old publisher, fine.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I look at it differently. I look at Dotemu, who we were just talking about. Like, hey, they've earned making a brand new IP, still, indie game, because of Streets of Rage 4, Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, Metal Slug Tactics. Like, let's take old video game IP and actually like give them to indie smaller devs and make some magic. Something about the words being used here, I'm a lot less. I just don't believe it. I don't think this is going to result in anything good.
Interesting.
I'm wrong. Yeah.
See, I don't see that. I think this would be the chance to give the next Dotemu a chance to come in and work on an IP people care about, rather than you be this indie barely making it, and then you make a game that doesn't resonate or could resonate, could be huge, whatever. Yeah. But hey, we're gonna have these IPs. God knows what they're going to be, and we're gonna work with those, and we're gonna go do that. I think there's a chance there.
Yeah, we'll see. Things need to make money. If you're investing money in something, it has to make the money back, and I don't think it's going to make the money back.
Yeah. Of course, the biggest problem is having Jeff Jarrett in there. Jeff Jarrett, of course, a clown professional wrestler who hit me with a guitar, as everyone knows. Luckily, I have connections in the wrestling industry. I was able to get his phone number.
Hello?
Is this the last outlaw Jeff Jarrett?
You damn right it is.
This is a trending gamer, Greg Miller, and I told you to stay the fuck away from video games, so I don't know what you...
Hey, if you're going to call me and get through on my hotline, I only let that out to folks that work with you. I have no idea why you would have balls big enough to get on the phone, reach out to me, and let's start this conversation over. Can I get something to the effect, hey, Jeff, congrats. Congrats on the Acclaim announcement. Congrats being on the board. Congrats on what you are doing for the gaming industry. Greg, can we start over, you little prick?
Oh, here's what I'll say, all right? Congrats to Acclaim for trying to get money back into this industry and trying to make games. That's great. But shame on Acclaim for working with you. You hit the shooting star, the brightest star in video games with a guitar here on the Kinda Funny set. And I don't know how they didn't see that clip. I don't know why they're working with you. You, sir, you accosted me.
Greg, just stop. I put you on the map on that
show. Oh.
I gave you the rub. Matter of fact, there have been, I don't know how many times I got called after the fact and said, Jeff, can you take Greg's place? We like everybody else on the show, but we would love for you to be his replacement. And here you are calling me, bad-mouthing me. I just got done recording another episode of My World, the Acclaim announcement. People are super excited, and you want to call with your little 2-bit, 10-cent pity argument, bitchy. You need actually another guitar shot. And maybe this time it'll get the job done.
Here's what I'll say, all right? It was a lovely honeymoon, but I'll be calling CEO Alex Joseph, and you won't be working with Acclaim very long, all right? So thank you very much. You're breaking up. You're going through a tunnel. Fucking Jeff Jarrett.
What is our life?
Greg, we did sit with him and tell him we would like him to be your replacement, if I'm being totally honest with you.
You're not supposed to tell him that, Kev. We talked about that.
So if we're just going to air the grievances, let's get real. Let's have Kevin's performance evaluation here. All right? As you know...
Oh, Greg, I'm sorry. Your mic is going out. We can't... Yeah, Greg, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It sounds like he's saying positive things. Wow, the ship isn't burning. Crazy. And now, Chad, this is me translating for you. I can't read lips. I'm famous for that. But I can see love in his eyes. Oh, I figured it out. The mic's back on.
Story number 5 on the Roper Report. Monster Hunter Wilds sales top 8 million in 3 days. This is Sal Romano Gematsu. Total sales for Monster Hunter Wilds surpassed 8 million units in just 3 days, Capcom announced. It is the fastest a title has reached this milestone in Capcom company history. The Steam version of Monster Hunter Wilds also reached an all-time peak of 1,384,608 players, according to Steam DB.
Congratulations, man. Again, it sucks that everything is so easy to compare here when we're talking about the Ubisofts and the Capcoms. But Capcom, killing it. Capcom was in a bad place not too long ago. It's getting further and further away, which is, I think, a great thing. They've managed to continue the trend of putting out banger games, trying some things that don't work, but then getting right back on the horse and having another win.
Yeah.
Not being afraid to go back to old IP, not being afraid to try new things like Exoprimal, right? Onimusha, need I say more? Whether it's remastering the old ones or coming out with a new one. Monster Hunter, the most important franchise to them at this point. They turned something that was a Japanese phenomenon from a portable standpoint and turned it into a worldwide hit sensation mega franchise for video games with Monster Hunter World. And to follow that up now and top 8 million sales, is Monster Hunter Wilds available on last gen?
No.
Incredible feat, right?
Yeah, no.
Think about that. These numbers are huge for what we're talking about with the PS5 and Xbox Series X install base alongside Steam, where clearly it is dominating. Great stuff all around.
Yeah, you know how much I love Monster Hunter Wilds. Of course, we did a 12-hour stream on Friday for it, a 5-hour stream the day before that on Thursday. Yeah, I'm so happy that it's resonating. I'm so happy people are enjoying it. I'm so happy to be getting friends hitting me up with their friend codes, talking about this. You know, I had a lovely text exchange with one, Xavier Woods. You want to talk about a good professional wrestler, all right? You want to talk about one of the good ones.
Oh, he's one of the good ones?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, him and Kofi, they're so great.
Don't get me started, all right? I'm sorry that they had to cut the bump off the pickle that was Big E, all right? He never cared. He clearly doesn't care. I follow this man on social media. Go to the gym. All he does is go on sushi dates with his girlfriend. You know what I mean?
Good for him.
No. You know what I mean? He needs to be dedicated to the craft. And I've been talking to Woods a lot about his dedication to Monster Hunter Wilds, and it makes me feel good. And again, I picked the right horse in this breakup. You know what I mean? For a while, it was the guy who broke his neck, or these guys who are performing day and date, every day, out there, killing it, being awesome, looking great. Kofi with no mustache, looking great.
They do
look
look great.
Sick of all this son of a bitch.
New Day sucks.
Number 6 on the Roper Report. Activision is once again under fire over alleged generative AI use for now. ... A fake Guitar Hero game. This is Rebekah Valentine at IGN. Activision is once again in trouble with fans over generative AI. Just 1 week after it admitted to using generative AI in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 for a number of assets, the publisher is now being accused of using generative AI again to promote a different game, Guitar Hero Mobile. But even as audiences criticize the promotion, sharp-eyed fans have been discovering that Guitar Hero Mobile may not even be a real game in the first place. What the fuck is going on? As reported by Insider Gaming, the generative AI in question appears to have been used in an Instagram ad for the newly announced Guitar Hero Mobile posted 2 days ago. The ad features 4 guitar players on stage in very similar poses with similarly blobby red guitars, surrounded by distorted speakers that look suspiciously like washing machines, and some massive blobby microphones directly behind them. Holy shit. In front of them is an audience that includes a number of visible legs that don't seem to belong to anybody, and down in the center is a Guitar Hero track with incorrectly colored tracks and blobby, inconsistent notes, some of which don't color match the track they're on. Put together, all of these issues are telltale signs of generative AI art, and given Activision's recent track record, it's pretty likely that's what's happening. In the comments, fans are furious. Quote, shows how much effort went into this when you can't even get your own game right, reads one response. But this isn't where the weird generative AI ads end. As a few websites such as Time Extension and 80.lev have pointed out, Activision appears to have quietly dropped a number of generative AI created ads on Instagram for a smattering of games that haven't otherwise been announced by the company. These include a Call of Duty Zombies mobile game, something called Call of Duty Sniper, and something called Crash Bandicoot Brawl. At the time we're writing this, none of those ads are viewable publicly on Activision's official Instagram, but the Guitar Hero mobile game ad is still available via direct link. Where this gets even weirder is that fans have managed to find a page for Guitar Hero Mobile on a website called Geek Lab, complete with even more AI imagery. Geek Lab is a user acquisition and insight company that allows publishers to create look-alike store pages for mobile games in order to test user interest. Clicking Get on the Guitar Hero mobile page takes users to a survey that claims, quote, "This isn't a real game, but could be someday," end quote, and asks them a number of questions about why they clicked on the ad and how likely they would be to play something called Guitar Hero Mobile. What appears to be happening is that Activision launched some sort of ad campaign to gauge user interest in a number of possible mobile games that don't exist yet. Because those games aren't real, it used generative AI for the advertising art and confused the heck out of fans who otherwise would have been stoked to hear an actual Guitar Hero mobile game.
This is one of the most what the fuck stories I've ever heard. So bizarre in every way possible. Like, you look at this and it clearly looks like shit. Let's just start there.
Yeah.
It's inaccurate. And yeah, the idea that it's being used to kind of gauge interest for a fake game, like, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. This does feel like some mobile gamer bullshit ad type stuff that we've seen, but this is a new era of it. And coming from Activision's official social accounts, like, it is
Baffling.
baffling.
Hold on. Oh, Barrett's here. Barrett said, "Is it off camera?" Now he's walking in here with his hat.
Is it baffling when, they're now admitting that they're using generative AI for Call of Duty as well? Like, this is good old corporate shit, 2025, Timmy. Love that we can have a day where they have such a W with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 and then totally fucking throw it into the garbage.
I still think it's baffling for the marketing side of this.
You would hope and think, right, that you are Xbox, Microsoft, Xbox, Activision. Hey, we're going to work with this firm to focus test if we can get new games and if there'd be an interest for it. That focus test firm makes all of this bullshit, not understanding how angry generative AI makes all gamers, vocal gamers on the internet using these things. And then they have the keys to the social accounts, so they go and post all of that stuff. And then they do this, and then there's this blowback. You would hope that's how it actually is, instead of somebody being like, yeah, this is a great idea and how we should do it.
I mean, I imagine that this was a decision made by people, which is ironic because there's things not made by people. Yeah. But no, I do think that this was them putting this out like for gauging interest in these games, and they just thought that was a appropriate thing to do. And to some extent, I'm sure that they're gonna learn something from this. I don't know what it's gonna be. Yeah. I don't think that the outrage is gonna stop this from happening.
No,
like I think that people being upset about generative AI, like, unfortunately,
you're going to lose that
on
battle.
The losing side of that.
Yeah, 100%.
So with this, it's like
still be loud, still be vocal, but yeah,
absolutely, and like, yeah, so it's just very weird too, like how we even like get to this point of like the games that they're talking about here of just like trying to figure out if it makes sense to make these games. Like, what would a Guitar Hero mobile game even look like? Like that would be, I imagine, in this day and age, if this is their starting place, horrible.
Yeah.
You know
they would screw it up and not make it fun, not make it good. Tim, capitalism ruining games is such a big story. If I wanted something smaller, say the tiniest news I need to know about, where would I go?
You go to our last story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
Number 7, the Wii News. BAFTA Game Awards nominees have been announced. Nominees for Best Game are Astrobot.
Hell yeah.
Balatro.
Hell yeah.
Black Myth Wukong.
Hell yeah.
Helldivers 2. Hell yeah. The Legend of Zelda. Echoes of Wisdom.
Hell yeah.
And thank goodness you're here.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, thank goodness you're here. Hell yeah. From Nobel, Sony announced that Sony announced the PlayStation beta program. You get beta access to test, quote, participating games for the PlayStation 5 console and PC, new PS5 console features, PlayStation app features, and even user experience features on PlayStation.com, end quote.
Cool.
People have been in the, this is an evolution of being a beta tester for PlayStation. From GameSpot, Konami has announced a brand new entry in the fabled RPG series Suikoden. It's called Suikoden Star Leap, and it'll be on iOS and Android. It was like, oh. Can I see this trailer? Thank you.
Well, they didn't like Star.
Great art.
Shit. Okay.
Got the 2D HD.
I mean, cool.
Aren't we like, we're imminent on Suikoden 1 and 2 remake, right? Remastered?
Did that not come out 3 years ago?
There's a different one coming out. This looks great. I mean, the art looks great. God, because the one
June 3rd, 2025.
I'm sorry, what?
June 3rd.
June 3rd.
This year.
Damn. I thought it was like imminent.
No.
No, yeah, Suikoden remake this month, the 6th. No, see, they're foreign. So 0603 would actually be March 6th.
They should figure that out.
Huh?
They should figure that out.
They should.
I don't know.
A lot of people underestimate how dumb the West / really America is. And don't get me wrong, America's happy every day now to show fucking their ass and how stupid they are. But again, we're too dumb for that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's too dumb.
In my defense, it is the U.S. version here, but then when you click into that,
It's the
then it
Japanese
turns
site.
the EU side.
Hey, man, nobody's mad at you, all right?
I don't
Nobody's
know,
mad.
man. Currently Working's really mad at me. I just pointed someone out in the chat.
No, he's actually, I think, defending you. All day should be the year, month, day.
Thank you, Currently Working.
Go from
Sorry
big to
attack
small.
you like that.
New Xbox Game Pass games. March 3rd, you're getting Monster Train. March 5th, you're getting Galactic Hair Standard. March 6th, you're getting One Lonely Outpost. March 11th, Enter the Gungeon. March 13th, Mullet Mad Jack. And March 18th, 33 Immortals.
33 Immortals look so sick.
Yeah, I know. I've seen more and more talk about that. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past official soundtrack is now available on Nintendo Music.
Hell yeah.
And Studio Fizbin, acquired by Thunderful in 2023, is winding down operations after the release of Rainbreaker on March 18th. I hope everybody finds jobs. We now jump over to the Super Chats, where you can write in to be part of the show. YouTube.com/kindafunnygames. Charlie Nuggets says, good morning, Greg and Tim. With the reveal of cards from the Spider-Man Magic set, I'm hoping we get to see shirtless Spider-Man.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, the cards look cool, man. I think I'm gonna hold off for the Final Fantasy ones because I can't get addicted to too many things, Greg. I just like collecting things too much.
You do. I know
it's a big problem.
Jam Van says, this is how AEW gets a second video game. How has there never been a 2D combo-based wrestling game? We've had characters like Zangief, but go all in.
I would love that, man. Give me a weird ass like story-based WWE game that is like the Terminator 2D.
Yeah.
I just want to play as Bailey. Give people Bailey to bellies, you know what I mean?
You're doing combos?
Doing them combos.
Fair enough.
Like Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
See, I was happy to leave combos behind. That was just not how I wanted to play wrestling games back in the day. These cards look hot, by the way. The Magic, Spider-Man. Light Tower says, I bought Monster Hunter Bought Monster Hunter fully based on how much Greg liked it. First time playing one and loving it so much. You picked a great one. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for joining the Kinda Funny clan. Thank you for starting other Kinda Funny guilds. Thank you. It hurts my heart and soul every day that I'm alive and awake and not playing Monster Hunter. So that means a lot too. Riley21 says, damn, ... Greg, a New Day fan. Greg, a New Day sucks fan, ... Hashtag let Jeff toast. I'm going to need you to just ban that person, Kevin. And then our final one of the day comes from Steffi Queen, who says, I'm usually asleep when you're live, so this is my first live stream. My friend introduced me to you 2 months ago. Shout out to Sid. Hope work is good. Well, Steffi Queen, work is great, and thank you to Sid for introducing you to us. We're happy that you're here for the first live stream.
Yeah,
I'd love to know more about that. What did Sid say? What did Sid say? Shout it out in the live chat. We'll see. What did that happen? What did Sid say?
Mr. Hawks was saying that there was a Game Boy Color WWE game that was a side scroller, kind of like what I'm explaining, where you have to save Stephanie McMahon, who was captured.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing it.
I don't remember that one either. And then Kebabs, keep me honest, and said, I super chat at the beginning of the show. And he says, PS2 is 25 years old today. SSX was an exclusive.
WrestleMania 2000.
That was you go save Stephanie McMahon?
Maybe.
I don't think that checks out. Of course, we only recognize the PlayStation 2's October 26th North American release date, so thank you for that. We have kindafunny.com/you're wrong. Kebabs is over there too. He says, it's worth noting that the new Suikoden game, Star Leap, will have gacha mechanics. Which, yeah, it's a mobile game. Of course it is. They got to get your money. You're never getting away with your money. Don't go away with your money. Ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, that's another episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily in the Bank, but we are far from done with our programming day. Remember, Kind of Funny Games is an 11-person small business all about live talk shows. This is WWF Betrayal. Is that what you're talking about?
Betrayal's the one.
Am I the Rock here?
Look at that.
That's the Rock, right? Yeah, damn, fuck. These fucking people up. Shit.
I need to play this on my analog.
Stone Cold.
Oh, they all got the walk.
They got the walk, man.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's stream this.
If you love what we do, please pick up a Kind of Funny membership. Of course, you get 20 shows a week ad-free. You get the ability to watch me, Greg Miller, with a series I call Gregway. Today's is 20 minutes long. Yesterday's was 20 minutes long. I'm stacking a week for you. Of course, if you have no bucks tossed our way, no big deal, but that would be great for us. You can super chat. You can be there. You can do it.
I went to howlongtobeat.com to see how long it would take to beat WWF Betrayal. You want to take a guess, Greg?
I hate this. I'm going to say 15 minutes.
24 minutes.
But it's like, these are the games where it's like, yeah, you could when you memorize the fucking thing. Like, how long's Terminator 2 on Game Boy to beat? Because I assure you, it ain't that fucking, you know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, if you know what to do. Like
2 hours, 30
minutes. Oh, fuck, that's a long game. Okay.
Nope, that's the runtime of the movie.
Everybody, we're Kind of Funny. Up next, of course, is the Gamescast review of Split Fiction. After that is the Kind of Funny podcast. After that is your afternoon stream of Blessing playing Dark Souls. We love you. We appreciate you, and we couldn't do this without you. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
1 hour, 5 minutes.
Still longer than I thought it would be.